Honestly, I've been having way too much fun with this intro. I had this drone footage for a while, I haven't posted it here on the channel, and really wanted to kind of intertwine it with some stock footage that I found online to kind of create a little sequence, action-packed sequence with a little story. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I certainly did. But anyway, today's video is about effects. As you can tell, I was heavy on the effects in the intro, and that is because I'm partnering with Motion VFX for today's video. Motion VFX is one of my favorite companies ever since I started making YouTube videos because I've been using many of their plugins since 2017. And when they asked me to showcase their latest CineStudio package of plugins, I had zero hesitation. So I want to tell you a little bit more about this CineStudio package, which consists of two different plugins, mRoto AI and mTracker Surface. These plugins are only available for Final Cut Pro 10. Unlike many of these other plugins that they have to offer on their website, these are Final Cut Pro 10 specific. And let me tell you, they are not cheap. However, they are filling a huge void in Final Cut Pro 10 that is just features that do not exist currently in the software. They're filling that gap by providing these features in their CineStudio package, and I want to show you how it works. So starting out first, we have mRoto AI, which, as the name suggests, use powerful AI to rotoscope portions of your video, meaning that you can easily mask pretty much any object you like and track it, so you don't have to manually mask it and go frame by frame, and it's taking hours when you do that manually. However, here with mRoto AI, you can simply draw a line to mask your object and then track it. It happens in a matter of seconds and just really facilitates your life if you want to have that 3D pop-out effect, or you want to specifically focus on a portion of your video to only color grade that, for example. It's really easy to do it with mRoto AI. So let me demonstrate how mRoto AI works. I have my demo footage here, and I'll go really quickly to show you how easy it is to rotoscope pretty much anything you like from your footage. So starting out first with this drone clip that I had in my intro. It's just a regular clip that I have graded, and it's a very basic video. But what we want to do here is to duplicate our video first, because if we are going to use mRoto AI, we need a duplicated clip. You'll see why in a second. And then we just drag the plugin over the duplicated clip. Now, what we can do here is start rotoscoping. And here with this plugin, everything happens really quickly. So all you need to do is drag a line, draw a line, and you will see that some parts of the sky are already masked. So we need to be a little bit more precise, obviously, and depending on the surface, on many other factors, you'll need to draw some lines and make sure you cover everything, because we need that, all of it. Now, if you notice here on the right hand side, we have precision tab, and we have three different options: accurate, fast, and super fast. By default, it's set to fast. If you don't have good results with fast, you can go to accurate, but I noticed that fast works well enough from my experience. Now we have some sliders to kind of feather our selection if we want to be really precise. I always set the smoothness to something like this, not all the way to 100, but yeah, I want my selection to be very smooth. Then you can expand or shrink your selection, but for now we don't want to do that. And you can apply some blur to your selection, which is again something like feathering effect to the selection of your mask. Now what we have to do is go to tracker and just track the sky forwards. So I'll click here and wait for it to be masked. That's done. Now, if we disable our main clip that I told you to duplicate, you will see nothing changed. That's because we need to change the output from merged to masked video. And now you will see that only the sky is being shown in our video. But we don't want our sky, we want the rest of the footage to be shown. So we need to invert our mask, and now we have only the ground and the water being visible, and the sky is not visible anymore. So if we enable our main clip, we have it right here again. However, we don't need our main clip for now because we already have our ground. Now I can apply this clip below, which is a time lapse of some some clouds, and if I play this, we have this result. So we kind of have a time lapse of these clouds, but we have a normal footage below, which makes for a really cool effect. I really like it. Now, another quick demonstration for using mRoto AI is to grade specific portions of your video, for example, or if you want to apply an effect that is only being applied to a part of your video. So let me just really quickly do that to this clip that I shot on my Osmo Pocket 3. So again, I will start by duplicating my clip. I will add mRoto AI, and for this demonstration I want to choose myself as my subject, and by just drawing one line you already see that we have our perfect selection. From here we go to tracker, we track, and keep in mind there are some parts that here, for example, the tips of my ears have not been selected. We can always go back and add those selections to our mask. So if we do that, we draw a simple line and it's being added to our mask. If we go frame by frame, you will see that they're missing. So now I can go back to the beginning and hit track once again, and my ears will be again added to the mask. It's just a simple thing that you need to be aware of. You need to be precise with your masking, and you can always go back and re-edit some things that maybe have not been masked out properly. So what I can do here is, for example, go to some kind of look, let's say just a really interesting faded sun look, and I can apply that to the background only. I can, let's say, add some blur, and that will be only applied to the background. It will not be applied to myself. So this is way too much, obviously, but you get my point. You can do effects and add them to just the background or just the foreground, anything you like. And the rotoscoping part is the easiest thing you can do with this plugin. That's really saving you so much time when you want to specifically focus on a specific portion of your video, not the whole area. Next we have mTracker surface, which again, as the name suggests, uses tracking to track any surface you want and add any graphical elements to it. So this again fills a huge gap in Final Cut Pro 10 software, meaning that these features are not built in the software, and now with these plugins you can do that. You can track pretty much any object you like and add a graphic on it and use a powerful algorithm to detect the differences in the surface. So if you have a little crease on your t-shirt, or if you have any bumps on the wall, they will be detected by the software and they will be incorporated in the way the graphic is being applied to the surface. Now let me do a quick demo of mTracker surface because I think this is really impressive. So this is just me with a plain green t-shirt, and notice these seams, or whatever they're called, these wrinkles on my t-shirt. Notice them because they are going to be important. So what we can do here is go to our plugins, select mTracker surface, and just drag it on top of our footage. Now we have this bar here with lots of different things. So now we need to select the area that we want to track. So for this example, I will track, let's say, this. So now we can select this, go here to mesh mode and enable that, and then hit tracker and start tracking forwards. The mesh mode is actually a really cool feature of this plugin because it detects all of these little wrinkles, these little differences in the area, in the surface of this t-shirt. So now when we apply a graphic on top of it, it will still detect these and kind of warp the graphic depending on the surface below, which is really interesting, really cool, and makes it for so much more realistic type of application on these graphics. So you will see in a second. Now that we have our mesh, we can go here to mTracker surface. We can play with a lot more things here, but first we have our drop zone where we can apply the graphic, and I have selected this Final Cut Pro 10 logo, which I will add to my t-shirt. Now it's way too big, so I'll just apply the clip and I will play with the pan and scale here because I want to scale it down a little bit. Then I want to kind of move it a little bit to the left, and it's still way too large, so I'll just place it here. I'll put it somewhere around here, and that's it. Now there's one more thing we need to do, and that is to go to blending mode and set it to overlay. From here we can drop down the opacity just a little bit, maybe 0.8, and here we have, or maybe a little bit more. And here we have the logo on our t-shirt. Now notice this seam here, once again, this wrinkle on my t-shirt, and let me just play the clip so you can see the difference. Now the logo stays on my t-shirt and kind of moves as I go left and right, as I move to a different direction. So it kind of goes well with the surface, so it really detects the surface and it moves with it. So you can see here, this is part of how the logo is being distorted, and that is because of how we placed it, because of that mesh that we used with the mTracker surface. If we go to the project from the intro, which you saw in the beginning of this video, you will see that I also use this plugin here to track this tablet that they're using to add my footage. If we remove that, you will see that it's just a plain screen with maybe a little bit of data, but I have applied mTracker surface to add my FPV footage, kind of like the Spec Ops are talking about ways to enter the building. It's just a way to kind of discuss their plan on how to enter. And it just makes it a little bit more immersive, in my opinion, especially with this point of interest call out that I put here as well. This is kind of like just another step of being a little bit more in depth, of creating something that has a few more details here and there. And this is how I incorporated this footage. Just had to play a little bit with the perspective to kind of make it fit the tablet so it doesn't look skewed or, you know, weird. But this is the footage that I applied. This is the drop zone here, some of my FPV footage that I shot, and just used normal blending mode with 0.9 opacity so we can still have a little bit of glow from the screen itself. So this is pretty much it. This is how you can apply some of these effects. There are so many more ways of using these plugins. It's just a matter of how they can fit your style, how they can fit your footage, and how creative you are with the way you want to use those possibilities. And finally, we have to address this because it's a huge talking point about these plugins, and that is the price, and mostly the fact that these plugins are subscription based, meaning that you have to keep paying for them if you want to use them. You have two different options to pay for them: quarterly or annually, and there are different bundles that you can buy with different plugins inside. I will link them down below so you can check out the different options, and of course you can use them for free for 2 weeks free. You can try them out if you want to see if they will be working well for you, if that's something that you want to use in your workflow, if that's something that will make a difference for you. But the unfortunate truth is that Motion VFX has decided to use this business model to sell these plugins with a subscription. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest, but I at the same time kind of understand why they're doing it. They explained themselves. They left a comment explaining why they do that. And especially if you calculate the total price of the plugins you're getting with the subscription, then it actually makes sense, even though you're renting the plugins instead of buying them. If you're serious about editing, if you value your time and you know that you're going to make money with the edits that you're working on, it's a no-brainer to invest into these plugins because it will save you so much time, so much precious time that obviously will be lost if you do that manually. We all know how hard tracking manually is, so of course this will save you hours and hours. So it's a good investment if you are really heavily editing and you're making money with your edits. So yeah, I will drop the link in the description if you want to check out more details about motion VFX and the CineStudio package. However, this is pretty much everything I have for you in today's video. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did by clicking on the like button and sharing a comment down below. I'll catch you in the next one very, very soon. Take care and goodbye.